supposed to loosen you up, you know? So.
All right, I'm loosen up.
Uh-oh, I might have just given you a mustache. Just because I was drawing your mouth. No idea what happened.
I want to cheat, but I won't.
Okay, when you're at the kind of at the bottom of the paper, you can stop.
I don't know.
Oh! See, that's amazing.
Perfect. Can you see the resemblance?
Yeah, so good. Right, so if you don't think you're creative, you don't think you can draw, do a blind contour, you're still creating something. It's not supposed to look like anything. You might get things in places. They're not going to look like the person ever because you're never looking at your page.
So there's no pressure.
No pressure.
I guess that's the idea. Do you have tricks for making other artistic things that you do less pressure-filled?
There's never a perfect time or space to make art. Like, I don't have a studio. I work on my kitchen table or in the shop on the floor or whatever. You're never going to have the perfect space and the perfect setup. You need to be able to kind of create that environment for yourself in the 5 minutes you do have. I always have an excuse, like I'm too busy right now, I can't do that, whatever. If I really want to make it happen, if I find someone else to do it with me, then it'll happen. Because sometimes just two brains are better than one. If you make a date with somebody, you have to show up for that date.
What if you're mean and no one wants to be a buddy?
What? What if you're mean?
And you can't find a buddy?
You're not the mean girl, Layla. You're totally not the mean girl.
But I used to be the mean girl.
Were you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't believe that. You really were? How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel sad. I have to repent. Like AA, I have to call up everyone I've ever known and apologize for being mean and tell them I'm making art now and I'd like to draw their blind contour.
You should do that. You should actually make that a project. I bullied you. Now I'm going to draw your portrait 15 years later. You should totally do that.
Contours of people I was mean to. How did you go from like person that was born and became human to someone that makes art?
I don't have like any early memories of being like told, oh, you're such a good artist or something like that. I do remember though a switch in high school where I was afraid to say I was an artist, but like clearly that's what I was doing with all of my time. I mean, I was like drawing pictures of Marilyn Manson. That was like what I did. I was obsessed with Marilyn Manson. If you're watching this and you want to marry me, I'm single. I love you, Marilyn. Just saying. I was like painting paintings out of nail polish. Ooh. And like it was obvious that that was like all my spare time was filled with like making things. And at some point I was like, oh yeah, that's what an artist does, you know. When I teach workshops, I have a lot of women that come who are like middle-aged and maybe kind of pushed back that creativity their whole life because they told they couldn't or because no one ever encouraged them or they just didn't see that as like an obvious path. And then now at like 50, 60, whatever, they're just like, oh, this is something I've been fighting my whole life and it's really something I should be embracing, and that's why they're in a workshop. By the end of class, they're at least happy with what they're going home with, and maybe tomorrow they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm creative, like, you know, I'm interested in art. And
so there's hope
they
for
walk
anybody.
away. There's hope for everyone. Do the blind contour. I'm serious. Do the blind contour. Like, go home right now. Do it right now. It's awesome. It looks so good.
I like it. If you were to say that you had been in the ring and it was art versus the world, who do you think won today?
Oh, art. Undoubtedly. Art always wins.
Art always wins.
Art always wins. Thanks, Layla. Thanks.
Oh!
Friends.
Art friends.
You're a mean girl.